when you've had this kind of language about somebody be the underpinning of a campaign for years and intensely for the last several months, the only way to unwind it is for the people who've been saying it, chiefly the president and the vice president, to go on TV and say, you know what? We went too far, and what we said, honestly, is not true. The country will not end.
Okay, I think the Democrats will tamp down their language about Trump. The moment Trump tamps down his language about the Democrats, about immigrants, about people of color, about women, and not a moment before.
What about how many times are we going to shoot at him?
Is your argument literally that you are not under threat unless somebody directly takes a shot at you? Is that actually what you're saying? Do you have access to Secret Service files about how many threats Harris and Biden have received over the past year? How many threats Barack Obama, the first black president, received for 8 years while he was in the White House? Do you have those Secret Service files, or are you just out here talking because somebody was caught in the bushes on Saturday? If you want something done, if you want to get away from this violence and hatred, the clearest thing to do is to take away the weapons that these people are using to cause the violence and hatred. Rhetoric does not kill people. Guns do.
So you're
big boy with the Q-tip looking hair. He wants to give everything about race. He wants to make it all about race. He says, well, Barack Obama, the first black president of the United States. Of course, this guy has to have all kinds of threats. Do you think Donald Trump has more than him? Yeah, right. Well, I'll tell you one thing there, Porky. Look, Donald Trump had, 2 assassination attempts in the last 60 days. But when did Barack Obama ever hit anything like that at all? Even one? Never. But again, he's the first black president, so he must have been in more danger than Trump. And again, the reason why Trump's in danger is not because of his own rhetoric. It's because you people don't know when to shut the hell up. You people don't know when to be quiet. That you're causing a problem. Again, when you call a guy, a Hitler and a dictator and a threat to democracy and whatever, and he needs to be eliminated and everything else. When you say that, what are you saying? What are you telling people? What are you telling some crazy liberal? You're telling them, hey, look, we got to get rid of him at whatever cost. And that's what's happening. And again, you libs, you're so up in your head. You believe that somebody trying to kill you is somehow your supporter. I don't think so. I don't think so. Again, that's the opposite of support. You do realize. I'm going to show you a clip of Joy Reid, again, talking about just this. Watch.
As Trump faces his second brush with death via a gunman shooting at him in Palm Beach, Florida. Just as happened in Pennsylvania. Neither of whom were Haitian or any kind of immigrant, both of whom are white, American, Trump-supporting men with guns.
Just normally, and again, call me old-fashioned, but normally when somebody tries to kill you, they're not your supporter. Normally, I could be wrong. I'm not up to date on all this new, support and, everything else. Again, nowadays, if you love somebody, you stand there and watch them get their penis chopped off or whatever. So I'm not up to date on this new support. But typically, when somebody's trying to unalive you, they're trying to eliminate you. They don't support you at all. And again, sometimes some of these folks, they are Republican. on the tickets. And again, like the guy in July, he was a registered Republican. And we have to understand, maybe number one, maybe he was, but just not a Trump Republican. He didn't like Trump. And, or maybe he was trying to be on that. He wanted to register as a Republican so he could vote in the primaries, so he could vote against Trump. I mean, but there are many different reasons why. Or maybe they're trying to kind of fool you.
I think there's a level of violent rhetoric that has been directed at him, but that's happened for 10 years.
It's been normalized, but it's been normalized and adopted as part of one party's platform for president this year. The country will cease to exist if Donald Trump wins. There will be no more democracy.
Joe Biden isn't that may have been the Biden campaign. Listen, hey, look, wait.
No. Why don't I get to finish? Everybody gets to finish.
No, go ahead.
Scott, let's let Scott finish, and then I have something to say.
The Constitution won't exist. There'll be a bloodbath. He's going to be a dictator. When you effectively radicalize millions of people into believing that if an electoral outcome doesn't go our way, they're no longer going to be living in the country they thought they were, what do you expect to happen? Now, I agree with you. There is too much hate speech. I'm in total agreement with you, and I hear what you're saying. But I have to say, when I see what Democratic politicians say about Donald Trump, when I see what Democratic commentators say about Donald Trump, and their platform is built on a bunch of lies, frankly, that are designed to radicalize a political base, it makes me wonder, how much do they really care about the violence that you and I both agree is terrible?
No, guys, we got to understand, they know what they're doing. They know what the hell they're doing. Again, it's happening for one side. I mean, George Floyd, Michael Brown, whatever. We've seen over and over again, we've seen Black Lives Matter come into existence. And again, we have seen the establishment step aside when they're out there rioting and protesting, and of course they call it peaceful, and they're burning shit down, and nobody says anything. They step backward. They say, "Go ahead, we understand." I mean, even when the whole country is in lockdown because of the coronavirus, they're like, even Dr. Fauci, they're like, "Oh, it's okay. That's okay." Again, you can't go to a barbecue, but it's okay for them to protest and burn stuff down. I mean, it's okay if they're barbecuing a police station, but again, you can't go to a barbecue where they're serving chicken. That's what's happening. And again, 99% of the violence is there. Not with MAGA. And again, the way they get them is they lie to them. They tell them they're oppressed. They're oppressed, or this group is oppressed, or that group is oppressed. And oppressed. I mean, again, that's what's going on right now with the whole Israel and Palestine stuff. Again, they're telling them, Israel is oppressing Palestine. Get out there and protest. Burn stuff down. Tear stuff up. And they listen. It's that rhetoric. It's coming from that side. It's not coming from the right. And the right, for the most part, is not doing it.
For Trump, because you're talking about, okay, this is Donald Trump on September 10th. That's 6 days ago. If she ever got elected, she'd change it. It will be the end of our country. She's Marxist. He shared a social media video of Joe Biden tied up in the back of a pickup truck. He's called his political opponents vermin. Trump is not the best messenger for this, but it isn't.
Well, you're a pretty good messenger when you get shot and then nearly get shot again. I think that makes you a fairly credible messenger.
For what? Here's the conversation I think that Tim is trying to have, which is that this has been a political climate in the country writ large for almost a decade of heightened, political animosity.
And they're right. I mean, it's gone out of control. The past 10 years have gotten so bad. And again, they don't care. They truly don't care. They're pushing it. They're wanting it to be this way. They're wanting to indoctrinate people, to get them to buy into what they're selling. And they're doing a pretty good job. Again, the majority of violence comes from the left, and not the right. And again, we got to be honest about that. And what they do is they pull you in. You know, they get on TV and they say, hey, look, we're protesting for Palestine, you know, free Palestine, whatever. We don't even know where it is, but guess what? We're gonna free it. You're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing by getting involved. And really what you're experiencing is like a mind, you know, climax or whatever. You're like, oh, it feels so good. Oh, it feels so good to be out there and, you know, involved and doing God's work. And for this ain't God's work. You're tearing stuff up. You're burning stuff down, and you're making yourself believe that you're doing God's work, but you're not at all. I mean, again, it's like a mind. It truly is. You believe you're doing good. You know, it's like Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter, George Floyd. And you believe you're doing good. You believe you're doing right, but you're not doing right. You're doing wrong. But again, you're climaxing in your mind. You're like, oh, this feels so good. I'm doing the right thing. Oh, it's wrong. The whole damn thing is wrong. I mean, it's like women's rights. You know about they're protesting for women's rights and everything else, so she could suck her baby out. Suck it out. Yeah. Again, that's what it is. The whole damn thing is wrong, but they have you convinced it's right.
Now, personally, I do not feel comfortable having yet another conversation about the horrible gun violence in this country without talking about the guns, because I agree with Tim. I want this political violence to stop. And to me, I would propose a solution to this. I call it the Protect Trump at all costs assault weapons ban. If we want to protect our political leaders, if we want to protect people who don't have an elite fighting force protecting them 24/7, one of the best things we can do, not just for Trump, but for all potential victims of gun violence, is to ban assault weapons, to ban the AR-14, and to ban the weapons of terror that these crazy people use to menace not just our leaders, but everybody.
And again, man, we have truly got to understand, especially when it comes to Professor Crumb or what, over here. We have truly got to understand, man. They're going to go after all of your guns. They are truly going to go after all the guns because, again, there's no difference between, you know, what you hunt with and these assault weapons. Because, again, man, these are legal assault weapons that are used in shootings for the most part. I mean, semi-automatic rifles. That's it. And again, you hunt with that. You hunt with that. But again, it looks bad, so they want to take it away. And you believe they've done something. We've done something, take that away. We're done. It's like, hey, what? Really? No. Look there, Porky. If you want to do something by, you know, by limiting the amount of soda you drink, or limiting the amount of candy or cake or whatever that you consume, because again, that's much more deadly, so many ways to this country than owning an SKS, which is, by the way, what the man had, not an AK-47. You son of a